What's up, everybody? Some guy who cooks here, and I have a treat for you today. Well, it's a treat for me today, and you too, but it's a treat for me. For the first time, I've got an endorsed video, you guys. Today, I'm gonna be cooking some steaks sent by McClaren Farms. Now, y'all know me, you know how much I love beef, especially when it comes at a great price. And McClaren Farms beef only actually is sold at Walmart. Some people might be a little bit skeptical, but let's put that skepticism aside right now and take a look at what they sent. Now immediately we start with this huge styrofoam cooler, and I'm gonna just open this right on up. And there we go, look at that. That is a very pretty box in here. Serve your best. And I'll tell you guys right away, this box, it's actually chilly, it's cold, so I know it's got some sort of ice packs inside keeping everything chilled here, so I know it's still fresh. I've got the box out of the cooler. Let's go ahead and open it on up. Oh, it's got right on the bottom side here is where it flips up, and here we go. And yep, we've got the butcher's paper, and underneath that, oh yes. All right, so they have sent me 2 ribeyes and 2 filets. These look like 8-ounce filets and probably 16-ounce ribeyes. Good thick cuts here. Yeah, at least an inch thick there on the ribeyes and about 1.5 to 2 inches on the fillets. Now this beef here is from, like I said, McClaren Farms, and it is USDA choice grade Black Angus beef. No additives, no hormones, nothing like that. It's all natural. And just taking a good look at these, I mean, I'm impressed. Look at the marbling on the filet mignon here. That is impressive. You know, a lot of fillets will be just kind of blank. No marbling to be seen, but that is impressive. That looks fantastic, especially also on the ribeye here. There's a lot of, especially for choice grade, there's a lot of intramuscular fat in here, and they are perfectly trimmed. And I see they still have the bone on, so you know we got a lot of flavor in there. So I'm really looking forward to these steaks, you guys. As you can see, those steaks have some great color as well, and they did send a recipe card for both the fillets and the ribeyes. So I guess what I'm gonna do is probably cook one of each with those recipes they provided, as well as cook one my way, just to try them both ways. So I guess there's just one more thing left to do, guys, and that's to hit the grill. All right, maybe I didn't need the hat just yet because I'm still inside, but you know, I'll be going outside soon enough. Regardless, there's one thing you should always do when handling some beautiful pieces of meat like these. That one thing is to salt them. I'll usually use sea salt or kosher salt because the grain is perfect for getting this job done. However, I want to do something a little special because these are special steaks and they look so good. I'm gonna use some black lava salt. You wanna be careful with black lava salt. It's a little extra potent. It's got some of that activated charcoal, so it's really interesting, but it is also a very potent salt, so you don't need to use quite as much of it as other salts. Either way, you want a pretty good even coating on this meat. And look at that. Naturally, we are salting both sides. Flip these beautiful steaks right on over so we can take care of the second side as well. Now, I just pulled these off of the ice, so they're still nice and chilly. We want them to come up closer to room temperature. That'll help us get a really good, nice, even cook. And while they're coming up to temperature, that's when we're adding our salt. Not only will it penetrate into that meat, well, it'll penetrate into that meat. It'll give us some more flavor. And what better time to give it that time than while it's warming up? Woo! I know it doesn't look ideal to have the steak kind of blackened like that, but trust me, it's gonna be worthwhile in the end. Honestly, I think it's kind of cool. You can see the charcoal in this this black lava salt when you rub it around like this. It's really a great way of helping us see exactly where we have put our salt, actually. We want a good, pretty even coating of our salt because, well, we want it to penetrate and flavor the steak evenly. All right, we got plenty of salt on these guys, and while it sits and penetrates into that meat, giving us more flavor, I'm gonna do a little bit of the prep work. I've got a couple sprigs of rosemary here, fresh out of my garden. One of them is going to be used on a fillet, and 2 of them are going to be used on a ribeye. Probably use the smaller one for the fillet because it's gonna cook pretty much right on top of those. And then these 2, I'm just gonna kind of take all the sprigs, or the leaves rather, right off the sprig, which is really easy. Just kind of hold it like this and pull right on down, just like that. I'm gonna give it a rough chop and let it just kind of cook on that ribeye. Like I said, we're gonna follow 2 recipes for each of these steaks. One of them is my way, one of them is the recipe card way from McClaren Farms. It's not a competition. I just want to see how great they are in multiple different preparations. Plus, I want to be able to review the preparation that McLaren gives us. So the first one I'm preparing, guys, is the tenderloin, and here's what the McLaren recipe says to do. It says to go ahead and heat a cast iron. I'm using my Blackstone Griddle, because the thing about cast iron is it's not giving you a certain flavor just because it's cast iron. Some people will tell you it does. Some people will tell you it doesn't. The seasoning is just giving you a non-stick coating, which we have with our Blackstone Electric Griddle here. Sure, you can have a little more butter in the pan when you're using a cast iron, but I'm just gonna keep it from leaking into that back with a spatula. So in order to follow the recipe here, I have my salted steak. I'm gonna add some pepper to it before adding it to the pan. I'm also gonna put down a little bit of canola oil. We're gonna cook it 3 minutes on either side of this tenderloin, and then we're gonna start adding our butter, our thyme, our rosemary, and our garlic. I'll go ahead and keep flipping it while basting it a little bit more and more, using the spatula here to keep that butter and oil and all that from leaking down that hole. Now it says to cook on a medium-high heat. Medium heat is generally between 300 and 400, and high is usually between 400 and 500. So medium-high, you could say just that right in that 400 mark. I'm gonna drop it down to about 385 because what I'm going for is more of a medium rare to medium on this one. I prefer it medium rare, but at the same time, I don't mind medium so much. Anyway, it looks like it's up to temperature, so we're gonna go ahead and add our canola oil. Just a little drizzle here along the plate, the hot plate. I'm gonna go ahead and just smear it around a little bit with our spatula. Honestly, I don't think I needed that much because I'm only cooking one of these on here, but that's okay. I'm gonna take this one right here and we're gonna set it right on there. But first, let me grab my phone so I can set a 3-minute timer. I'm gonna hit go just the moment that I set the steak down, okay? All right, we got 3 minutes here for this first side of the steak, and we're gonna let it continue to sear right there. The pan's gonna grab hold of it just a little bit, and we'll know it's good and well cooked once it kind of releases it there. While that first side is cooking, let's go ahead and add some pepper to the top. I've got a combination of Telecherry black pepper and white pepper. I want a pretty decent crust on there, so a nice little bit of seasoning right on top. And once I flip it, I'm gonna add a nice extra dash of that pepper to the other side. I'm gonna shift it a little bit over to one of our hotter zones, one of the side zones here, just because it doesn't look like it's quite crawling up with that normal amount of colorization I like to see on the bottom. So I'm also going to jump it up to 400 just so it is that 400 degrees right in the middle, right on the medium high. We got about 15 seconds left here before it's time to flip. That's it, guys. Time to flip and put it onto the other side. So we're going to grab it and take a look. Oh yeah, look at that. It's got some nice coloration there. Looking good. It's going to be pretty rare in the middle if we let it keep going this way, but that's okay. We got some other cooking to do. In the meantime, let's go ahead and start this next 3-minute timer the second I drop it down. And here we go. Whoop, started. So we are on our second 3-minute timer, and we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more of our black pepper to that side there. Got a good sear on it. And once this 3-minute timer here is up, we're dropping the temperature down to about 200, 250. That way it'll give it more of a roasting as opposed to really searing the side. But we got a good sear on that first side. We're working on our sear on the second side. And once this 3 minutes is up, we're gonna start adding our other flavors, our butter, and all of our seasonings. So our 3 minutes is almost up, guys. So I'm gonna grab our first bit of butter here. We get a tablespoon of butter for this filet here, right there. You can do salted or unsalted, although it recommends unsalted. And as we're reaching this 5 seconds left, I'm gonna go ahead and drop our temperature down to that 250 mark, okay? There it is. Which actually it says medium heat, so we could even do 300, which I'll go ahead and jump it back up to 3, just so we get some good cooking in there. But taking another good look here, and it's released. Look at that. The other side there has a great sear on it as well, and that cook is starting to come through the middle there. So I want to turn it so the first side of black pepper gets a little bit of attention, but I'm going to put it on some of the oil in the cooler part of the pan near the back edge. While that's going on, we're going to grab our butter, and we're going to put it right in the middle here, and that's going to help deglaze a little bit of this Maillard reaction that happened from the steak sitting right here. While the butter's there, I'm going to start dropping in some of our seasonings as well. Right here, we've got our sprig of rosemary, going to sit right on top of the butter there. We're also going to get a nice spoonful here of minced garlic, as well as some thyme. If you have fresh thyme, go ahead and use that, but I don't. I just have the dried stuff, but it still works. It's still pretty good, guys. So we're putting a nice couple sprinkles of that right on top of that big butter pile. And let's go ahead and give that a little bit of a mix here, okay? So we get the thyme and the butter and the rosemary all together there, right in that spot. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set our steak right on top of that. We want those flavors to cook right on up into the tenderloin, and that's gonna go for another minute or so on that side while we go ahead and just kind of grab these flavors here with our spatula, and we're just gonna baste the tenderloin with them. So you can still get butter onto a spatula like this, and you can baste just like this. It's not that hard to do. So you can baste on an electric griddle or on any griddle surface for that matter. It might seem a little more difficult, but it is possible to do, I promise. As you can see, I'm doing it right here. And now that that's been going for about a minute, we're gonna flip it over and do the other side as well. Again, just get that butter and that garlic and all that good stuff and scoop it on up and just spoon it right on top of your tenderloin to get as much of it basting as possible. We got a good amount of salt from the lava salt in the beginning, so it should be plenty salty. And like I said, I like my steak a good medium rare, which we'll go ahead and take a quick look at the side here. You can see there's still a little bit of red there, but looking at the other sides, you see it's pretty much cooked through fairly well, which means we're about done here. We've given it the time it really needs, and now I think it's time to serve it up. And we're gonna set it right on down where it was on the board. That was really dumb because this board has not been washed and that's raw. So set it back on the griddle for a second. That way we can cook away anything that was left over by that raw meat, and we don't have to worry about getting sick now. All right, this is over 300 degrees. It has killed anything that was on that steak when I set it back down, like the dummy head I was being. So let's go ahead and take this and put it on a plate to rest. We got our plate, and here goes nothing. Set it right on there, and we'll set it to the side because we're gonna add some of the other steak as well once it's done. But in the meantime, this one's gonna rest for a minute, and now we can start prepping our others. All right, now while that rests, it's time to show you one of my favorite parts. Yes, we're outside now. Yes, it's dark, so the point of my hat is, well, it's still gone. But that's okay, because I wear my sun hat at night. But anyway, my favorite part, one of my favorite parts, is lighting this bad boy. This is, I mean, it's hard to show when I'm using my arm as the selfie stick, but this thing is really cool, guys. It's a chimney. It's called a chimney, at least. And what you do is you put your charcoal down in it, and you put some newspaper in the bottom, and you light it, and it gets your charcoal all lit. So we're gonna have fun with that while the filet rests, and we get ready to prepare our other filet and those 2 ribeyes. Yes, Old Faithful, my old dirty grill, but it works fantastically. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. You just want to light this paper as best you can, and then we can set it and forget it. It's got these holes so you can get that going, and you can see the smoke is starting to pour right out the top here, and we're going to light it on every side. Every hole of this thing is getting lit because we want all that paper to cook up real good and smoke up real good and start all of this charcoal flaming. Look at that. Isn't it a thing of beauty? And we're gonna go ahead and use our pizza turner to fan that smoke away from the inside of the house and out there. You can see these embers are starting to drop down and form. It hasn't quite gotten to the top yet, but this is smoking. It's getting real hot. Pretty soon, it's gonna be good to dump. For real, guys, for safety reasons, you should not leave your doors open while doing this process because it's a lot of smoke. You shouldn't be inhaling this. I have all the fans going in my house. Only reason I'm doing it is because, well, you know, lights, camera, action. But yeah, you know, don't do that. Make sure you do all your grilling strictly outside because, you know, it can be dangerous not to. So bad on me in this case, but I'm being safe. I'm making sure I'm clearing out the house of all of this smoke. It came up on me quick. But hey, check it. Those flames are coming up, which means this stuff is pretty much ready to go and set in our grill. And while it is going, we're gonna cut into this. It's rested long enough. We're gonna cut in, take a look, and give it a nice taste. Oh, it's not the steadiest of surfaces I'm on here. But let's go ahead and cut right into the center here. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Here we go. Take a look at that. Just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Perfect cook on this. If you like it rare like I do, rare to medium rare, this is definitely rare, and it's the good kind of rare. So let's go ahead and cut a piece. My goodness, this is extremely tender, and we need to give it a shot. Here we go. That's great. Slight saltiness comes through. Fantastic. We also get that thyme, that rosemary, and the garlic. It's all great. I'm not getting the pepper very much, but that's okay. I like the pepper to be more of a subtle flavor as opposed to a very strong, imposing crust. This is a solid filet mignon. It's tender as it should be. It's fairly juicy. And again, it's very flavorful. So that is one success so far for McClaren Farms. And now it's time to dump this inferno into the main chamber of the grill / smoker here. These coals are nice and hot, so we're gonna need to work quick. I'm gonna go ahead and close this chamber. That way it can heat up a little bit while I go finish prepping the other steaks. So here's what it calls for from the McLaren instructions. This ribeye is gonna get some chopped rosemary, some garlic, some salt, some pepper, and then it's gonna go on the grill. It's gonna cook 4 to 5 minutes on either side, and then it's gonna be moved to the non-hot side of the grill so that it can, I guess bake a little bit in some of that smoke. Granted, it's supposed to be a gas grill with this, I believe, but I have a charcoal grill, so we're gonna work it a little bit. We're gonna take both of my ribeyes the way I would usually do them and put them right over top of the flames for a minute or so. Flip them, keep them right on those flames, and then shift them over just like the instructions say into the non-flamey part, so that they get some of that indirect heat, and they're also going to get a little bit of smoke. I'm going to do the same thing with the filet. The difference is with one of the ribeyes, I'm going to do a simple seasoning. With one of them, I'm going to do the seasoning with the rosemary as well. And then with the ribeye, I'm doing my way, and the filet, I'm doing my way. Afterward, they're going to go right onto the Blackstone for a final sear. And we're gonna do that in some of my patented steak butter. Not really patented, but you should try it sometime. So here they are. This one here, getting a little bit extra salt, not too much, just a light sprinkling extra of this black lava salt, plus some accent, some pepper, garlic powder, and a sprinkling of rosemary. The other ones got the same treatment minus the rosemary. All right, continuing with our quick work. Woo, these coals are still hot. We're gonna spread them out just a little bit, and we are gonna add some hard wood, some oak, some fresh oak. Maybe we'll turn this over. We want it to lay pretty flat here, guys. And now we drag this grate right on over. As you can see, it's starting to light. We're gonna close this up. We do want it to ignite, and we want that smoke to stay in here. We want it to get nice and hot. Guys, I don't know if I can express how excited I am for all this beef, all this meat, and it's going up on my grill and smoker, and it's all gonna be so good, guys. It's gonna be so good. One thing I love to do is get the flame soar nice and high by using a heat gun like this. It blows some air on there and really gets those flames going. Without any further ado, it's time to add you. Let's go ahead and let's start with this one right here, our rosemary, right on the flames. Followed by standard, no rosemary, right on the flames. We'll push those back a little bit. And now we add our final filet right onto the flames. And we're setting a 3-minute timer, guys. We're gonna let these go right on top of those flames for about 3 minutes. At least the rosemary one is gonna be going for 3 because we want 4 minutes total. And then we're gonna flip it to the next side. Whew, I'm excited. Okay, just being honest, they really don't need the 3 to 4 minutes. They're smelling and looking like they are ready to flip now. So I'm gonna do it, guys. All right, first one's first. Look at that, it's beautiful. Second one's second. Also looking beautiful. And here for our filet. Guys, look at that, absolutely gorgeous. Next thing I'm gonna do is shift them over in just about a minute once they've gotten a good sear on those sides to the less hot part. Close it up so they can bake a little bit and get a lot of that smoke. Maybe even spritz the oak that's burning with a little bit of water to bring out some more of that smoke, a little more of that flavor. But first, let's go ahead and give them all a quarter turn, because who doesn't want some crisscross grill marks here, right? I don't usually like to flip a steak more than once, but we're gonna do that because we didn't give it quite the amount of time that it was told to be given, and we want to do it right. Alright, while those ribeyes continue to smoke a bit longer, we can go ahead and throw some steak butter down on our griddle for that filet. Oh yeah. Now this stuff is made with black garlic, butter, and some other really good stuff to provide with a lot of really good flavor. Which means it's going to provide a really good flavorful sear, final sear for our tenderloin here, as well as our ribeye. Get that butter in there, and bloop. Oh yeah, that is looking good. So not only do we have a char on the outside of this, we also have some of that charred black garlic. We're gonna plate that and we're gonna let it rest. Let's check once again on our ribeyes. So this is our rosemary one. It spent more time on the flames. Oh yeah, just feeling that. It's fairly firm. That's ready to go. This is our other one. We're gonna put it over the other heat a little bit longer, but it's mostly smoke now and not much flame, so it'll cook it a little bit slower, which is kind of what we're looking for. In the meantime, this one, the rosemary one, is good to go. Set that on the steak right next to our ribeye so it can rest. Sorry, filet, not ribeye. Ribeye, filet, ribeye, filet. More steak butter! Now we take a ribeye, ooh, smoky. Take our ribeye, and we're moving this right on over to the steak butter for a final sear. Okay, final sear. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm gonna get a flip in just a moment here. Guys, I don't know if I could be any more excited for these steaks. They're all really beautiful. I love beef. I don't know if I've told you that, but I love beef. All right, here we go. And right onto the plate here, where it gets a chance to rest as well. We've already tried one of our tenderloins. Now we got a second one. We've got our rosemary ribeye and our steak butter ribeye right here, guys. Oh, I'm so ready. All right, guys, this is it. The moment I've all been waiting for. We've got two amazing juicy ribeyes here. One that was cooked with some rosemary and one with some steak butter, and we've got another amazing filet mignon also cooked with that steak butter. Oh, just look at the juice on these things. They've had some time to rest, and we know a lot of that juice has reabsorbed into the meat, but there's still so much on the outsides there, guys. I'm ready to cut in. Let's go ahead and start with our filet mignon. So here we go. Right in, and look at that. A perfect medium rare. That is just amazing. And you know, the way I gotta do it, I'm just gonna cut a slice here, and I'm gonna have it. And that's it right there. I know, guys, I'm using my fingers, but I don't have patience enough to go get a fork right now. Oh, come on. Are you kidding me? That is one of the most tender, flavorful pieces of filet I have ever had. Watch how easy this cuts. Watch how easy this cuts. Just glides through as if it were butter. And look at all that juice. It's still pouring out juice right on that board. Look at this amazing piece of beef here. Come on. That is so good. Now, the other preparation was amazing as well, but me personally, I am a fan of grill flavor. I love the smokiness you get. Plus, that steak butter is amazing. I think I'm gonna have to finish off this half of this filet. Oh my goodness! Just, I barely even have to chew this. One more piece, huh? Maybe I shouldn't have eaten all of it, because I mean, it's hard to think you can top that piece of meat right there. Trust me, you do want to lick your fingers with this. This is incredible. All right, guys, let's move on to our rosemary cut here. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the bone off here. Maybe I'll chew on this a little later. I'm gonna remove the cap of the ribeye here, because not that I don't like it, but actually I like it the most. It's the best part. So I'm gonna cut these in half, because I need to save some for my coworker to try, for the other Brett to try, the original Brett at the station to try. But anyway, so I've got a half of a cap there, and half of the main part here. Let's go ahead and get a nice little triangle here. And we can see the cook in this is a nice pink. This is more of a medium here. From leaving it on that heat, it's a good marbling. It's a good juicy cut of beef. Let's go ahead and try the main part of the beef there. Oh yeah. Reaffirming that the ribeye is my favorite cut of beef. Yes, the tenderloin is amazing, but for me, the ribeye is king. And now we're gonna move on to a piece of the cap, which the cap looks like is nice and medium rare. The cap is extra tender, extra juicy, extra delicious. Let's give it a shot here. And it does not disappoint. Oh, wow. Guys, this is incredible. These are steaks you can get at Walmart. And you can only get them at Walmart. And trust me, you're gonna wanna go to Walmart to get them. Once again, these are McClaren Farms. They are USDA choice grade Black Angus beef. Completely natural, all natural, no hormones or anything like that. These are actually raised on a ranch. That is incredible. I don't know how much I noticed the rosemary, but I'm sure it added a little something. In the meantime, let's go ahead and move on to the other one that we did in the steak butter. Once again, I'll go ahead and remove the bone here. I want you to look though. Look at that puddle. Look at that puddle of juice on top just leaking on down. And we'll move this bone to the side. And once again, I'm gonna go ahead and separate the cap from the main body of the steak here. And once again, not because I don't like it, but because I like it actually more, and you usually end up eating them separate anyway. This is another, this one was also cooked pretty much medium. And here we go, just again, dipping it in all that juice there. Look at that, look at this piece of beef. Taste that piece of beef, holy cow. Wow. And again, good, more medium rare on the cap there. The king of cuts. Guys, I don't know what to say. This is Walmart beef, and it tastes like beef you'll get in the best steak restaurants, okay? Seriously, this isn't a show. I mean, it's on a show, but this isn't for show. I'm actually licking my fingers. I'm actually very tempted to lean over and drink the juice off of this cutting board. This beef is delicious. It has a great color. It cooks incredibly evenly and well. It's very juicy and tender. I don't know what to tell you. Go to Walmart and get some beef, guys. You all probably don't want to watch me pigging out for the rest of the night on this stuff, but that's what I'm gonna do. So, if you haven't already, like this video, hit subscribe, go ahead and comment down below and share it with your friends. Unlike me, I will not be sharing this steak with my friends. Well, I guess I'll be sharing some, but it's all good. Till next time, guys, I'm some guy who cooks. Oh. Alright guys, so I'm here at work. I guess I was lying, the video's not over just yet, but I'm here at work and I'm with this guy right here. He's one of the other guys here, and he's he's just a dude, right?
Just a dude
Yeah.
with a hungry stomach.
Yeah, so he's gonna try a few bites of it, of all of these, and we're gonna cut them with a plastic knife just to show you how tender they are.
Yeah, this steak, first of all, it smells amazing, absolutely amazing. And it's not even open out of the container yet. So
Wait till you taste it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, so yeah, these are not heated yet. We're just gonna cut a few pieces first and then move them in the microwave. But we want to show the ones on the left. So this one right here is the filet by the McLaren recipe, and the ribeye by the McLaren recipe as well.
Okay,
and the
so
ones
I'm
on the
gonna
right are
take
done
this
with my
out of the
steak butter.
way.
Yeah.
And then
So we don't want to heat the whole thing if you're just having a bite right now.
correct. Yeah, exactly. That's the biggest point.
But look at that. That plastic knife is going right through it.
It is. I'm barely having to push on any pressure on the knife whatsoever. And here we go. This is the ribeye of the steak butter.
Yeah, Mike's some guy who cooks steak butter, which I don't think you've actually tried my steak butter, have you?
I have not, but for years and years I've heard about your steak butter. So I would be lying if I said I weren't excited to try it. So
Right.
look, it's just like a warm knife through butter. I mean, it's
I guess it's like a room temperature knife there.
Yep. So we want to make sure. So these are the
ones
these
on
are the
the left
fillets,
there, those.
and these are Mike's. These are McLaren. Okay.
No, left for McLaren.
Oh.
These are yes.
Okay. All right. As long as you get it, Mike, that's all we need.
Yeah. And we're moving these right over to the microwave here, just to give them a little bit of temperature.
Yeah, I just want to give about 30 seconds.
Yeah, just get them warm. And to clarify real quick, the reason we're calling me Mike is because that's my name where I work here at the radio station. My on-air name is actually Mike, so I guess you could call me that too if you want.
Yeah.
But either way, we're doing it here. So I see you stopped it before the time was up.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're excited?
Yeah, well, A, yes, and B, yes. So the reason why he's Mike, by the way, is because my name's Brett and I was here first. So
It's true. It's true.
Brett, he's second. So what you recommend go first?
I'd say. So, do you like filet or ribeye more?
Filet.
Okay, then start with the ribeye. Both mine and the McLarens are pretty similar.
Okay.
So go ahead and try whichever you want to try first.
So,
So that one would be mine with the steak butter.
Okay. Hot.
It is hot, yeah.
Bro, give me one of these. That's amazing. Steak butter?
Yep.
Alright. I may need the recipe.
And
for
that one, yeah, I'll give you the steak butter recipe for sure.
Now what's on this one?
That one is done with salt, pepper, garlic powder, and rosemary.
Alright. One of these. You know, there's a slight difference in the taste, but the tenderness of the steak is insane. For a ribeye, that was amazing. That is amazing.
Yes.
All right.
Now for this one, for the filet, I would definitely say try the McLaren's one first, and that's strictly because I like the grill flavor more.
Okay.
And the McLaren one was done on my griddle as opposed to on the grill.
Okay. So here we go.
But it's done with garlic, rosemary, thyme. It's really good.
You're right. It is really good. I can taste the thyme and the rosemary. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you for the for the ones that I did my way, I did them on the grill first, and then I finished them on the griddle.
Oh, okay. So
So
you
they got a
reverse
nice.
sear.
I did, yes.
Okay.
That also had the steak butter.
So something about that steak butter, dude.
And we got a clean plate.
Well, after I lick it, it'll be clean.
Exactly.
Biggest thing, the flavors are great. Whether you do it Mike's way, Brett's way, some guy who cooks way, or McLaren's way, the most important thing is get the McLaren steak. The cuts are absolutely insane, out of this world. I want to do one more of those for how amazing it is.
Yeah, I'm incredibly impressed by these steaks. And you know where you get these, Brett?
Walmart.
That's right.
Yes. So guess where I'm headed?
I'm gonna guess Walmart.
I'm Audi 5000.
For real this time, guys. And he's actually licking the plate there.
No.
No? No. For real, guys. It's worth it to get these steaks. Try them out. Some guy who cooks out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends.